Alright, so our texture is exported here. I'm gonna use that in Maya now. Back to Maya, I'm gonna use again Arnold renderer because that's gonna be the most available renderer for you. Anyone who has the Maya, you have Arnold on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's not a bad render at all. It's really cool, and it was actually one of the high-level renderers that is actually only available in big studios for high-end movie production. It just got bought by Autodesk not so long ago actually, and they abandoned mentally and use Arnold as the default shipped renderer. It's a really powerful renderer. It's also production proven. Okay, for movie production. I'm gonna right click on it and give it a new material, and I'm gonna use Arnold. I'm gonna use the AI standard surface, and here I'm gonna go to node editor. You can also use hypershade, whatever you want to go for. Clear that, click on select and add it in. That's my material. Okay, I'm gonna call this AI standard surface blade. Okay, and now I just need to go ahead and drag my textures in, scrub those guys and drag them into the node editor. I'm gonna grab them all and hit on this align so that they're being aligned properly. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the textures now. So here the mellowness goes to the mellowness. This is the attribute editor of the material. The roughness goes to the roughness of the specularity. Normal goes to geometry, bump mapping. And then finally the hat. We don't actually use the hat unless we need to use displacement map, but we don't really need that. Base color, yeah, base color goes to, of course, base color. So that's the connection we need. It's very self-explanatory. Just find the same name on the material, like mellowness, roughness, normal, which is the bump, and the base color, and go to the color. Okay. Now after that, the only thing we don't touch anymore is the base color. The other three, mellowness, roughness, and normal, they have to be using the raw as the texture color space. Okay, so let's see if we can change them here. No, let's go back to the attribute editor and change them here one by one. So color space will be here raw, and this guy will also be raw, and this guy will also be raw. So all three will be using raw at their color space. As you can see, the icon will be a little bit brighter than the actual base color. This is the one we haven't changed. The other three will be brighter because of that raw information, because those are raw data. We don't want it to color correct them using the sRGB color space. Now after that, also if you look at the connection from mellowness, you can see it's from alpha. Same goes to the roughness. Roughness is using alpha too. So because of that, you have to actually go to the color balance here and check on alpha is luminous on both. So now they are actually using the correct information in the RGB channels as luminous, and alpha is luminous, right? Use that as the actual information. Otherwise, you will not get anything. And then the normal map here, you don't have to change that, but it's there already. And the normal map, you have to change a little bit more on the bump 2D1 node, which is connected to actually the normal map of the material. First of all, it's going to be used as tangent, and you want to check out the flipped R and G on the Arnold section because they're not supposed to be flipped. Anyway, but the default setting is flipped for some reason. So now we're happy with all the setup of the materials, and let's go set up the lighting. I'm going to go create this big environment light. I'm going to go to the color section and pick a file, and then underneath the file I'm going to choose a color here. Now I'm navigating to the Substance Painter folder. You can take a look at this folder. Program files, don't know how to pronounce that word, and Substance Painter and resource shelf and that, and environment and the exterior. That's where the HDR that is being used here. So I'm going to use the same HDR to light my thing, so I'm getting the same lighting. I'm going to choose this panorama. That's going to be the texture used to light the scene here. You can actually take a look at the now there the where is it? The visualize settings, display settings. The environment map is this. You can turn on the visibility. You can take a look at. That's the image being used to light this thing, right? So. So that way we can have a fair comparison between those two. Now I'm not gonna want to see it. So here underneath the light, again I'm gonna check out the camera visibility of this image. So now when I do render, I shouldn't be able to see it. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the render by clicking on this render button. Now you can see it started to render the blade. Alright, and let me actually rotate to a direction that has the lighting. Click on the render again. Alright, now you can see we're basically getting almost the same results of the result we're getting in Substance Spinner. Let's see if I have some lighting here. Right, so that's basically it for the tutorial, right? You can basically use that method on all the textures exported from Substance Spinner to Maya, and you should be able to get exactly the same result. I think I'm seeing a lot more detail here is because it's not blurred in our setup here. The environment is a little bit blurred in Substance Spinner, so we're not seeing like a really sharp results. You can turn off the blur and see if it's getting better. Yeah, it's basically a little bit more blur here on this one. Anyway, so we're seeing a little bit more here. Alright, anyway, the two system is a little bit different, so you can't ask them to get exactly the same result, but this is pretty close already. So if you compare those two, I'm gonna go actually do only 3D by hitting F1 or F2, yeah, and close all those UIs so we can compare those two images. So this is what Substance Spinner gives me, and that's our render. As you can see, the color are almost the same. Let's change the direction of the lighting also. So that's on the back. See, if I tweak the lighting to the similar lighting situation, we're getting the same results, more or less, especially on those guys here on the bottom. And the blade, maybe because it's kind of like blurring the lighting, because it's fake lighting, you cannot read information as detailed as what Arnold can give you, which is a real-time ray tracing, not real-time, but software ray tracing rendering. It's going to be able to capture all the detail here from the environment. And Substance Spinner cannot do that. It's just gonna be too expensive, so that's why. And I don't want to see the background either here, so let me go to the display settings here and turn on the visibility. As you can see, pretty close result. Okay, all right, that's gonna be it for this entire tutorial series. I walk you through from the modeling all the way to texturing, to rendering, and export the texture, put them in. All the steps there is now up to you to take the artistical part and bring it to the next level, right? All right, so thanks for watching. See you next time.